Most business owners waste money on the wrong things while being cheap about the things that actually make them rich. Think about a business owner who spends $3,000 on a fancy office chair but refuses to spend $50 a month on software that automates their lead generation. Or the entrepreneur who buys a top-of-the-line laptop they do not really need, but uses a cheap, blurry logo that immediately signals to every potential client that they are not a serious professional. A cheap logo loses you credibility instantly. A cheap accountant leads to a tax disaster that could have been avoided with professional oversight. Cheap editing or outdated software leads to hundreds of wasted hours that you can never get back. These 5 expenses we are discussing today consistently make businesses faster, smarter, and significantly more profitable. This is not about motivational fluff or generic advice. These are real, tangible things that successful businesses gladly pay for because they understand the math behind growth. In this video, we are breaking down the 5 high-return investments that act as multipliers for your success. We will look at why some of these are ignored by the majority but embraced by the top 1%. Stay tuned, because number 1 is often the most overlooked but offers the highest ROI of anything on this list. The purpose of business is smart expenditure, not less. Cutting costs alone cuts your business's wings. Every dollar leaving your bank account must be viewed as leveraged. This distinguishes assets from liabilities. You pay for something that never returns. ROI spending buys time, trust, or direct revenue development. I used to think conserving every penny was the key to success, but I found that being cheap was slowing everything down and prevented me from developing a firm. Being thrifty in your personal life is good, but cheap in your business infrastructure is deadly. Bad expenses include status purchases like a showy car or a prestigious office address before you have continuous cash flow. Good costs buy back hours or boost sales conversion. Some investments may seem boring or unnoticeable, but they often make the most money. Let us start with expense number 5, which is good software and essential tools. In the digital age, your tech stack is effectively your digital workforce. Many new entrepreneurs try to piecemeal their operations together using free tools or cracked software, but this creates a massive amount of hidden friction. Cheap or free tools often result in critical inefficiencies, frustrating bugs, and countless hours wasted on manual workarounds. Think about your project management, your video editing tools, your automation systems, and your scheduling platforms. If a piece of software costs you $30 a month but saves you 5 hours of manual labor every week, that software is massively underpriced. You are essentially buying an hour of your life back for less than $2. Consider the difference between manually tracking every lead in a spreadsheet versus using a professional CRM and email platform that automates the follow-up process. One leads to chaos and missed opportunities, while the other creates a reliable system that grows even while you sleep. I once spent months trying to manually sync data between 3 different platforms to save $50 a month, only to realize I was losing thousands of dollars in potential revenue because I was too busy being a data entry clerk instead of a CEO. The transition from chaos to systems is almost always paved with the right software. However, there is one huge mistake people make with software subscriptions. They collect them like trading cards without actually implementing them into their workflow. You must ensure the tool serves the process, not the other way around. If a tool sits idle, it is a leak. If it is used, it is a lever. Which leads us perfectly into the next expense that defines how the world perceives your value. Expense number 4 is professional design and high-quality branding. We like to tell ourselves that people do not judge a book by its cover, but in the business world, that is exactly what they do. People judge businesses almost instantly, usually within the first 3 seconds of landing on a website or seeing a social media post. Your branding directly affects your pricing power, the level of trust you command, and your overall conversion rates. Good design makes an average business look like a premium, world-class operation. Think about it from the perspective of a customer. Would you trust a financial advisor whose website looks like it was built in 1998 with clip art graphics? Probably not. You want to see professional website quality, intentional thumbnail design on your content, clean packaging, and consistent social media presentation. A professional logo and a cohesive color palette tell the customer that if you care this much about your own image, you will probably care just as much about the service you provide to them. There is a nuance here though. You do not need to spend $10,000 on a brand identity before you have made your first sale. The goal is to avoid looking amateur. Focus on being clean, trustworthy, and professional. Ask yourself honestly, would you trust this business with your own hard-earned money based purely on its visual presentation? If the answer is no, then your lack of design is a silent tax you are paying on every single lead that visits your page. Investing in your brand is how you stop competing on price and start competing on values. We've covered the basics and your business's visual shell, so now we're getting serious. The next 3 expenses immediately increase business owners' profits and reduce stress. 1 lets you purchase back your life and quit working 14-hour days. If your growth has plateaued, these 3 points will shatter it. Education and skill development is 3rd on the list. This includes elite masterminds, mentors, books, coaching, and courses. Your ears are your most significant asset in a fast-changing economy. One talent like high-ticket sales, digital marketing, or great communication can raise your income forever. Most people spend money on amusement, while successful individuals spend it on learning, a huge difference. A high-return mentor investment can prevent years of costly mistakes. Why spend 5 years trial and error figuring out a marketing strategy when you can pay someone who has done it to show you the blueprint in 5 weeks? Speed matters in business. Faster skill acquisition means faster monetization. Education provides an unfair advantage that your competitors cannot take, whether it's boosting negotiation skills or team management. A warning is here. Most people are duped by gurus who sell dreams rather than knowledge. You should find mentors with technical training and receipts. Investing in your education is investing on yourself, the only person you can influence. This is the best approach to scale a business without guesswork. Expense number 2 is hiring people earlier than you think you should. This is often the most difficult emotional hurdle for a founder to jump. Most entrepreneurs stay trapped in the self-employed trap because they insist on doing everything themselves. They are the CEO, the janitor, the social media manager, and the customer support rep all at once. This is not a business. It is a high-stress job where you have a crazy boss yourself. To achieve real leverage, you need assistants, editors, accountants, salespeople, and operators. There is a powerful truth you need to internalize. The most expensive employee is the one you waited too long to hire. Every hour you spend doing a $20 an hour task is an hour you are not doing a $1,000 an hour task. We often fear that no one can do the job as well as we can, but that mindset is exactly what caps your business growth. The evolution of a successful entrepreneur always follows the same path. Solo hustle, followed by inevitable burnout, followed by strategic delegation, which finally leads to a growth explosion. When you hire someone, you are not just paying for their labor, you are buying back your time so you can focus on the high-level strategy that actually moves the needle. A great hire does not cost money, they make money by freeing up the founder to generate more value. Marketing and distribution are the first expense. If no one knows you exist, your best product or service is a hobby, not a business. Lack of attention kills businesses, not quality. This includes targeted ads, great content, SEO, email list building, and influencer connections. If a mediocre product has superior distribution, the best product always loses. Marketing is a compounding asset, not an expense. Audience, brand recognition, and traffic systems compound. People call marketing expensive, but invisibility is the most expensive thing. A modest business with a revolutionary product that refuses to advertise goes bankrupt. Meanwhile, an ordinary product with a strong marketing engine dominates the market. Investing in distribution ensures your message reaches the correct individuals when needed. Entire engine runs on fuel. Professional software, high-quality branding, continual education, early recruiting, and aggressive marketing are always worth the money. Every successful business owner learns that being inexpensive in the wrong places costs more than the initial price tag. Business ROI is the only way to scale from suffering. Which expense gave you the best return on your journey? Comment below to start a discussion, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more no-nonsense business breakdowns to help you succeed. See you next time.